Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 8th. So students, in the previous video we have started reading with our chapter number 9 from the book Honeydew. The name of the chapter is The Great Stone Face, and in this chapter we are reading part 1, okay, and the chapter 10 is part 2 where the story it will continue. So in the previous video we have read about Ernst when he was the boy. At that time he was so fascinated, he was very much interested in that great stone face, and when his mother told about one story that was related with one prophecy, so at that time even he was more excited and he was waiting for that man of prophecy. He was waiting for that noblest, that wisest, that greatest person that was having the exact resemblance with that great stone face. And we have read about one person, that is Gathergold, who was a very skillful merchant and he actually earned a lot of money. And now finally when he was returning to his native place, that was the same valley where Ernst he was living, then all the people, all the inhabitants of that valley, they believed him to be the man of prophecy, and they all were able to find some or other resemblance. But when Ernst, when he saw his face, then he was very much disappointed, he was very much sad, because he was not able to find any resemblance, any likeness in his face and the face of great stone face. So yes, so we can say that Ernst, he is still waiting for that person, he is still waiting for the man of prophecy. And in today's video we will continue the chapter and we will complete reading with our chapter number 9. So now let's continue our today's video. So this is part 2 of chapter 9. The years went on and Ernst grew to be a young man. So now one more time, the years are passing on, time is passing on, and now Ernst, he is a young man. He attracted little notice from the inhabitants of the valley. So now all the other inhabitants, so we can say all the other citizens of the valley, they gave no attention to him, okay. Inhabitants, we all know people living there, or we can say the citizens. So the other people, other citizens of that valley, they used to give no attention to him. They saw nothing remarkable in his way of life except that when the labor of the day was over, he still loved to gaze upon the great stone face. So what it means, that all the other inhabitants, they did not give any attention. It means for all of them, Ernst was a very common, very normal person, and he was not having any remarkable characteristics, any remarkable qualities. So remarkable means important. So उनको लगता था कि Ernst एक बिल्कुल ही common सा, normal सा person है, and he is having no remarkable personalities. He is having nothing, any characteristics that we can say very prominent, very remarkable, and still he was having the same habit, that when the labor of the day was over, when the entire work of the day, when it was complete, then still he loved to gaze, still he loved to look upon the great stone face. So still Ernst, he was having the same habit that he was having when he was a small child, that still he was very much fascinated, still he was very much attracted towards the great stone face, and he actually loved to gaze upon the great stone face. Their idea was that this was a folly, but pardonable, because Ernst was industrious, kind and neighborly. So now there means the idea of all the citizens, all the inhabitants of that valley, to according to them this was a folly. This habit of Ernst, it was like a folly. Folly means we can say fault or a mistake. So all the inhabitants, they used to think that it is like a mistake, it is like a fault, but still this fault was a pardonable. Pardonable means something that is able to be forgiven, or we can say excusable. So उनको लगता था कि जो इसकी इतनी ज़्यादा habit है कि every time he is just gazing towards the great stone face, so this is like a mistake, this is like a fault, but still they were able to excuse him, they were able to forgive him. Why? Because Ernst was very industrious, Ernst was a very hard working person, he was very kind, and yes, he was very neighborly. Neighborly means a person who is very good with all his neighbors, or we can say a person who is always there to help with all his neighbors, who is having a very good relation, a very good connection with all his neighbors. So yes, Ernst, when he grew as a young person, so he was very kind, he was very gentle, he was very hardworking, and yes, he was having a very good relation with all the inhabitants of the people, all the inhabitants of that valley. They did not know that the great stone face had become a teacher to him, and that the sentiment which was expressed in it would enlarge the young man's heart and fill it with deeper sympathies than other hearts. Okay, so now they means again the inhabitants of the valley, so they did not know, they were having no idea that the great stone face had become a teacher to him. So yes, in the previous video we have discussed this thing that for Ernst the great stone face was like a teacher. So why Ernst he wanted to be a polite, a gentle, a kind person? Because he was able to see the same kindness, the same love, the same affection in the face of that human face that was there on the mountain. So we can say the great stone face. So Ernst he just wanted to have the same kindness, the same love and same affection, and this was the reason he was very hardworking, or we can say he was industrious, he was very kind, he was very gentle. But all the other inhabitants, all the other people, they were totally unaware with this thing that the great stone face is a teacher for Ernst, and at the same time they were unaware that the sentiments which was expressed in it would enlarge the young man's heart. Okay, so who is a young man here? Ernst is regarded as young man here. So the heart of Ernst, it was very large, it was very huge, and we all know that only the person whose heart is very large, only that person can be very kind, very gentle. And the heart of Ernst, it was filled with deeper sympathies than other hearts. So what sympathies means? Sympathies means we can say kind feelings. Okay, so जब भी हम दूसरों लोगों को कोई प्रॉब्लम में देखते हैं, so at that time अगर हम उनके लिए कुछ बुरा फील करते हैं और हम फील करते हैं कि उनकी प्रॉब्लम जल्दी से ठीक हो जाए, so this quality is known as sympathy. So yes, Ernst he was having these feelings in his heart that he actually cared for all the people, he used to care and he used to bother, he used to take care all the other people, and these qualities were there in the heart of Ernst, maybe just because of the great stone face, because that great stone face was like a teacher for Ernst. Clear? They did not know that from his would come a better wisdom than could be learnt from books, and at the same time all the people, they were unaware that from this would come a better wisdom than could be learned from books. It means yes, Ernst he was not having a teacher, he never ever कभी भी स्कूल नहीं गया था, but for him the great stone face was a teacher. So all the good qualities that Ernst is having now, all the good feelings, all the good emotions that are there in the heart of the Ernst are there just because of the great stone face. So yes, great stone face was a teacher, and just because of it now Ernst he was having a better wisdom, he was having a better understanding that could be learned from books. Okay, so ये जो understanding थी, ये जो feelings थी, ये जो emotions थे, Ernst एक तरह से बहुत ही he was a very good human being. So वो जो एक गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग बना था आज, वाई वो गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग वो बुक्स पढ़ के नहीं बना था, बट क्यों बना था? बिकॉज ही वॉज हैविंग ग्रेट स्टोन फेस एज अ टीचर फॉर हिम. Neither did Ernst know that the thoughts which came to him so naturally in the fields and at the fireside were of a higher tone than those which all men shared with him. So yes, all the inhabitants of that valley, they were unaware of this thing, they were unaware with the relation, with the connection that Ernst and the great stone face they were having, and at the same time Ernst was also unaware, he was also having no idea that all the thoughts that were there in his mind, or we can say all the good feelings, all the good emotions that he was having in his heart, okay, and those feelings, those emotions, those thoughts were very natural for him, okay. उसे बिल्कुल भी efforts नहीं करने पड़ते थे अच्छा human being बनने के लिए, but he was a very good human being by nature. It was his nature. So yes, this thing, this goodness, this wisdom was there naturally with him, and this wisdom was always there with him in the fields also and at the fireside also. So in this picture we all can see this is a fireside. So if he is there in the fields, if he is there at the fireside, then every time he was a very good human being. Goodness was there, with we can say wisdom was there in his heart, and it was very natural, and all those emotions, all those things, all those thoughts, they were of a higher tone than those which all men shared with him. So we can say that yes, he was the wisest man in that valley, and he was the noblest person of that valley, because he was having all the good qualities, all the good characteristics, and yes, he was a very good human being. So yes, here we can say that he was the noblest person, he was the wisest person, a person who was having all the good qualities. Clear? A simple soul, simple as when his mother first told him the old story, he beheld the marvelous face looking down the valley and still wondered why its human likeness was so long in coming. So now writer is writing one word, to present that what kind of a person he was. So yes, he was having a very simple soul, he was very simple kind of person. Simple, why? Because when his mother first told him the old story, the story that was related to, with that prophecy. So when his mother first told him the story, at that time he beheld the marvelous face looking down the valley. So let's see the meaning. What beheld means? Beheld means saw, and marvelous means we can say wonderful. So when Ernst's mother for the very first time when she told, that story, that prophecy to Ernst, so at that time also he was able to see the marvelous face of great stone face that was looking down the valley, and still Ernst, he was wondering about that why its human likeness was so long in coming. So yes, according to that story, one day there will be that person who was having the likeness, who was having the exact face, the exact resemblance with the great stone face. So Ernst, he actually believed on that story, and he was having a firm faith, a firm belief on that story, and yes, he was still waiting for that person to come, okay, and he was wondering why it is taking such a long time, why that person is not coming. By this time, poor Mr. Gathergold was dead and buried. So in the previous video, we have read about Mr. Gathergold, who was very skilled businessman, and he was very rich. He earned actually a lot of money, and according to all the other people, all the other inhabitants, he was the man of prophecy. He was having the resemblance with the great stone face. So now by this time, the poor Mr. Gathergold, now finally he was dead and he was buried as well. His wealth, which was the body and spirit of his existence, had disappeared before his death. And now we are having this thing that before his death, his entire wealth, and yes, wealth was the body, wealth was the spirit of his existence. What it means? It means that all the other people, according to them, he was the man of prophecy. Why? Just because of his wealth, just because of this thing that yes, he was very rich, he was very prosperous, and he actually earned a lot of money. But before his death only, entire wealth, that was the body, that was the spirit of his existence, and all the people, they, if वो उसको जानते थे, अगर वो उसको praise करते थे, why? Just because of his wealth, just because of the money. So we can say that money was his body, money was the spirit of his existence. अगर उसके पास वो money नहीं होता, अगर उसके पास वो wealth नहीं होता, सो ऑब्वियसली जो सारे इनहेबिटेंट्स हैं वो उसको इतना प्रेज नहीं करते, वो रिजेम्बलेंस भी फाइंड नहीं कर पाते, बट स्टिल ऑल द पीपल दे वर प्रेजिंग हिम. वाई? जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द wealth. And this is the reason that the writer is writing that wealth was the body, wealth was the spirit of his existence, but before his death his entire wealth disappeared. जितना भी मनी उसने अर्न किया था, ग्रेजुअली स्लोली धीरे धीरे उसका जो entire wealth था that finally disappeared just before his death. Since the melting away of his gold, it had been generally agreed that there was no great likeness after all between the ruined merchant and the majestic face upon the mountain. So when finally entire wealth that he was having, that wealth disappeared. So now because of the melting away of his gold, so what it means, gold again means wealth, money. So जिस तरह से सारा gold melt हो जाता है, similarly he just lost his entire wealth, and because of this thing now it was generally agreed, all the other inhabitants, the people, now they also agreed that there was no great likeness. So what it means that when he was very rich, when he was prosperous, when he was having a lot of money, at that time all the inhabitants, they were able to find the likeness, the resemblance. But now when he lost his wealth, now when he lost his money, his entire gold, then all the inhabitants, they also agreed that no, there were no likeness, there were no resemblance, with his face and the face of great stone. Okay, so finally people agreed this thing, that he was the ruined merchant. Ruined means damaged very badly. So now जब उसके entire wealth जब lost हो चुका है, so now he was the ruined merchant because वो बहुत ही badly damaged हो चुका था. So now the people were unable to find any likeness between the face of a ruined merchant and the face that was very majestic, or we can say the great stone face. Okay, so now just like Ernst, all the other people were now again they were waiting finally that वो man of prophecy कब आएगा, when that noblest, wisest, greatest man will arrive. Clear? It so happened that another son of the valley had become a soldier many years before. So now first of all, for all the other people, Gathergold was the man of prophecy, but before his death, when finally he lost his entire wealth, then they also agreed that no, he is having no likeness, no resemblance. But again they also started waiting for that man of prophecy. So now we are having another person. So now finally there was one more son of that valley. It means one more person was there who was from that valley only, and now finally he become a soldier, that too many years ago. After a great deal of hard fighting, he was now a famous commander. He was known on the battlefield by the name of Blood and Thunder. So that soldier, he actually fought a lot of fighting. He actually had a great deal of hard fighting, and he was a very famous commander. And now in the battlefield he was having one name, and what is the name? He is having the name as a Blood and Thunder. So it means we can say that he was very brave. He was the commander. He was a very brave soldier, and all the other soldiers, they used to call him as Blood and Thunder. Old and tired now, he had lately expressed a desire to return to his native valley. But now that brave commander, now he is in his old age. So now he is very old. Now he is very tired. So now finally he is having this desire. He had expressed a desire to return to his native valley. Okay. The inhabitants, his old neighbors and their grown-up children, prepared to welcome the renowned commander. So now again the news of this thing, that commander that is known as Blood and Thunder, who is returning to the valley. So now this news was there everywhere. So all the inhabitants and his old neighbors and their grown-up children also, everyone was prepared to welcome the renowned commander. Renowned means famous. So yes, yes, he was very famous because he was very brave. He fought so many fights, right? So he was a very brave soldier, and now finally he was returning to his native valley, and all the inhabitants, they are well prepared to welcome this renowned commander, this famous commander. It was being said that at last the likeness of the great stone face had actually appeared, and yes, one more time this belief was there that now finally we are having the man of prophecy. So earlier Gathergold was regarded as the man of prophecy. Why? Because he was very rich, he earned a lot of money, but when finally he lost his entire wealth, then all the people, they agreed that no, there were no likeness, no resemblance. And again this kind of rumor was there that this person who is a very brave, very famous soldier, very famous commander, that is Blood and Thunder, he is that man of prophecy, and he is having the likeness, the resemblance with the great stone face. So yes, in the valley, everywhere this thing was there that finally we are having the man, the person who is having the likeness, who is having the resemblance with the great stone face, and finally that person is actually appeared. Finally that person is arriving to this valley. Great, therefore, was the excitement throughout the valley, and many people who had never once thought of glancing at the great stone face now spent much time in gazing at it for the sake of knowing exactly how General Blood and Thunder looked. So yes, all the people, all the inhabitants, they are very much excited. Why? Because finally they are having the man of prophecy, finally a very brave, a very famous commander is there. So now everyone is very much excited, and excitement was there throughout the valley, and there were so many people who had never once thought of glancing at the great stone face. It means in that valley some people were also there who were having no interest in the great stone face, who were having no interest in this prophecy and in this story, but those people also started to look at the great stone face. Why? Because they just wanted to know how exactly General Blood and Thunder looked, because again this was the belief there in the valley that General Blood and Thunder was not there, but they were having this belief that he is having the exact resemblance with the great stone face. So now everyone was glancing, everyone was gazing, everyone was looking at the great stone face just to know that how this famous commander Blood and Thunder, he actually looked like. Clear? On the day of the general's arrival, Ernst and all the other people of the valley left their work and proceeded to the spot where a great banquet had been prepared. So finally the day was there when the great general, when the great commander Blood and Thunder, he will be there. So now final on the day of his arrival, all the people, all the inhabitants of valley, Ernst and all the other people, they left their work and then they proceeded to the spot. Proceed means continued. So all the people, they just left their work that day because they just wanted to see that famous person, that famous personality, that famous commander. So now everyone was moving on to the spot, to the place where one great banquet had been prepared. So banquet means we can say feast, a very, we can say very lavish feast. Like in this picture we all can see, this is such kind of preparation is known as a feast. So just to welcome that commander, just to welcome Blood and Thunder, a very great feast was prepared, and now all the people of the valley, they were moving to that place. Soldiers stood on guard, flags waved, and the crowd roared. And now because he was the general, he was from the army, so there were so many soldiers also who stood on guard, and there were so many flags that were waving in the air, and the entire crowd was it was making a lot of sound, a lot of noise, or we can say the entire crowd was roaring. Why? Just to welcome this great personality. Ernst was standing too far back to see Blood and Thunder's face. So yes, Ernst was also the part of that crowd, because Ernst was also waiting for the man of prophecy, and he just wanted to meet with that person. So he was also there, but he was standing too far back to see Blood and Thunder's face. So yes, he was standing very far away, and from that place he was not able to see, this commander's face. However, he could hear several voices. So Ernst was very far, he was not able to see the commander's face, but he was able to hear so many voices, and all the other people, they were shouting. So what they were saying? They were saying, "It's the same face exactly," cried one man, dancing for joy. So finally this commander Blood and Thunder, he is there, and when the people, they saw his face, so one man was there who was dancing with joy, and he was shouting that yes, he is having the same face, exactly same face. "Wonderfully like it, that's a fact," replied another. So one more person is there, and he replied that yes, it is a wonderfully same face, and yes, it is a fact, it is, we can say it is true that he is having the same likeness, same resemblance, and why not? And one more person was there, and he is saying that yes, he is the man of prophecy, and why not? Because he is a very brave commander, and he actually fought so many fights. So yes, he is the man of prophecy, he is having the likeness, the resemblance with the great stone face, cried a third. So yes, one more person was there who said these words. He is the greatest man of this or any other age, beyond a doubt. So all the people, they were having this belief that Commander Blood and Thunder, he is the greatest man of this time, and not only this, any other time, any other age. So there is no doubt that he is the greatest, he is the noblest, he is the bravest person. So only he can be the man of prophecy, only he can have the likeness, or we can say, the resemblance with the great stone face. So according to the prophecy, the man of prophecy will be the, wisest, noblest, greatest person. So earlier Gathergold was regarded as the man of prophecy. Why? Because yes, he was the richest person, he was the sharpest businessman, okay. And now this Commander Blood and Thunder is regarded as the man of prophecy. Why? Because he was very brave, and he was, very famous also. Ernst at last could see the general's face, and in the same glance to the side, he also see, the great stone face. So now finally Ernst was there, and now finally Ernst was able to see the general's face, to see the face of Blood and Thunder, and at the same glance, or we can say at the same time, he was able to see the great stone face. So what it means? It means, like in this picture we all can see that this is the face of great stone, or we can say the mountain face is there, and this is the face of general, okay. So when Ernst, when he was looking at the face of the general, so at that time he was able to see the great stone face, okay. So एक ही साथ वो दोनों फेस देख रहा था, जनरल का फेस भी देख रहा था और ग्रेट स्टोन फेस को भी देख रहा था. He could also see the great stone face at the same time. If there was such a likeness as the crowd proclaimed, Ernst could not recognize it. And when Ernst, when he compared both the faces, the face of the general and the great stone face, just to find the resemblance, just to find the likeness, then what happened? So if there was a likeness as the entire crowd was proclaiming, proclaim means to announce something. So the entire crowd, or we can say all the people, they were proclaiming, they were announcing the resemblance, they were announcing this thing that yes, he is the man of prophecy. But Ernst, he was not able to recognize, he was not able to find any resemblance, any likeness. So one more time, the entire inhabitants, all the other people, they believe that the man of prophecy is there, but this time also Ernst, he did not find any resemblance, he did not recognize any likeness, okay. Fear not, Ernst, said his heart, as if the great stone face was whispering to him, fear not, Ernst, he will come. So one more time Ernst is very sad, Ernst is very much disappointed, because he is very genuinely, he is very eagerly waiting for that man of prophecy. But this time also that general, that commander is having no resemblance, no likeness with the great stone face. So Ernst is very much disappointed, but this time also his heart said that fear not, Ernst, and Ernst was having the feeling as if the great stone face is whispering these words to him, that fear not, Ernst, he will come. So one more time Ernst was having the feelings that the great stone face himself is speaking these words, and he himself is confirming this thing, that that man of prophecy will be here very soon, and for sure he will be here. So no need to worry, don't worry, fear not, he will come, surely he will come. Okay, so students, the chapter ends here. It's a very interesting chapter, and let's see that in the next chapter, that is our chapter number 10, that Ernst की जो वेट है, जो वेट कर रहा है, that man of prophecy will be there. So वो वेट complete होता है, पूरा होता है या नहीं, और you know will he be able to see that man of prophecy by himself. Okay, so I hope this chapter number 9 is clear to you all, and in the next video we will see the comprehension part, we will solve the questions. See you in the next video. Thank you.